Hello and welcome back to another episode of Pixxie Puffs. You're here with your boy Pixxie, and today we've got a little authentic RDA to look at for you. Now today what we're going to be looking at is the Snubnose RDA by the Vapers. So about 2 weeks ago I picked up the clone version of this RDA, and the night before Vaper Expo in Birmingham, Tequila Brain made me lose the top cap. So the next day at Vaper Expo I managed to pick up the authentic Snubnose RDA by the Vapers from the illpluminati stand at the Vaper Expo in Birmingham. Now the reason that I went from the clone to the authentic version of this RDA is because it is absolutely off the hook. Now if you were a fan of the DERRINGER RDAs, this thing is just going to blow your mind, because the DERRINGER's here and the Snubnose RDA is up here. It is the DERRINGER killer. Forget the evil monk, forget the haze, forget the rest of them. The Snubnose RDA is the best version of the Derringer style RDAs that I've found to date. It's a lovely tiny little atty. Now before we jump down to the table, I just want to tell you a little bit about this atty. This atty is 30mm from top to bottom and it's 22mm around. It's a 3-part design. You've got a 4mm juice well, you've got milled negative posts with a square split centre post, and that centre post just doesn't spin. It's got copper contacts and a square peak insulator for that squared centre post. It's got a 10mm wide bore drip tip, and the airflow control, wide open, is two 7mm long by 2mm down air slots. There is absolutely tons of airflow with this thing. It still carries so much flavour, so much flavour. The authentic that I got comes with hex screws, and the clone that I got comes with just normal Phillips head screws. But as you'll see when we go down to the table, there is pretty much no difference in the deck. While we're down at the table, I'll flash up a quick image of what the clone's top cap looked like the day before I lost it. But as for differences between the clone that I got off Focal and the authentic that I got from the illpluminati stand, design wise the only difference is the fact that it's got them Phillips head screws and the metals are just a little bit cheaper. But for the price difference between the clone and the authentic, you're not losing any quality in your vape and you're not losing any quality in ease of use. So let's jump down to the table, have a little look at this thing. I'll chuck a quick build in there and show you how I put it together, and then we'll come back up and have a nice little vape on it. Alright, so here we go, the authentic Snubnose by the Vapers. Straight up, nice little box. So let's just open up this box. This is how mine came, exactly how mine came. Cool little guy, the Snubnose. Now mine's is in gunmetal grey. It came with no extras, no tools or nothing, but I do believe that that is because I got it at the expo, and this was the show model. But straight away you can just see how beautiful this thing looks. Snubnose Revolver logo on there, and it's got the Vapers on the drip tip. And this is the box that the clone came in. It was a plastic box, same logo in on there. You'll see the difference is that this one's got Phillips screws and it's got all the extras. Right, so straight up you can see that the machining on this thing is just absolutely beautiful. Now the way that this works is there's your top cap, there's your deck, and there's your airflow control. Now as you can see, that's hex screws in the authentic, and it's got that engraved hashtag Vapers 101913. You'll notice there that you've got a copper centre pin contact that goes up to square peak insulator and the square centre post. Not bad at all. So this is the difference between the clone and the authentic. The authentic's got the hex screws and the clone's just got Phillips heads. The bottom is pretty much identical. Just obviously a better grade of metal, but not much difference there. O-rings on this one are nice and tight. There's that engraving of the Snubnose. And there's the engraving of the writing of Snubnose. It's just so nice. And here is the airflow control and wide bore drip tip, giving you the option of dual coil or a single coil. just really well made, really well made. The O-rings on this thing are absolutely lovely, just the right amount of tension. Just absolutely perfect. I love this RDA. And as you can see, it is a mini. Now here's a little size comparison for you. On the left we have the Snubnose and on the right we have the Derringer. There is literally half a mil difference in it. Derringer actually sits taller in total, but the Snubnose has just that little bit of lip because it's got that top cap. And I'm going to go as far as to say that that airflow is just that little bit better than the Derringers because it is just the Cyclopses rather than 3 holes. There's another view. I loved my Derringers, but this thing has absolutely destroyed them for me. Drip tips are about exactly the same. Now, the good thing is as well is if you're finding it a little bit hot and you've got a Derringer, you can smash that tip on top. I don't bother with it, I don't find it warm at all. Right, so let's do a quick build tutorial for this thing. I'm using some camphor that came from Coiler of Canada. This stuff's really good and I really like the spools because it's got like a wee hole that holds it in place. Pre-cut 2 bits of 24 gauge camphor into about 5-6 inches. Next thing I'm going to do is use one of these cheat sticks. You can use a Cure Coiler, a Coil Master, whatever you like. I am going to use the magic stick that I got from Fast-Tick. I'm going to do this with a 3mm drill bit. I absolutely love these things just for quickness. Same as usual, slide your 24 gauge camphor through, anchor it down, do 1/2 wrap, stick the top on, and we're going to go for 8 wraps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Spin it around. And there's coil 1. Then same again, 1/2 wrap. Now onto the install. Stick 1 coil onto the 3mm. So what I like to do is have the bit that's going over in the furthest away positive post, and the bit that's going under in the left, like this, in a position like this, and then tighten it down. And I'll just clip these leads. And I'll just clip these leads. Then I'll do a pre-straighten, a couple of pulse files. Get these guys all nice and straight. Give them a little strum. That'll do, I think. Get this cogen dough. I'm going to cut about, just cutting one strip about 1 centimetre thick. Then we'll take off the outside layer, just a nice thin bit. Like this, on both sides. So take off the outer layer on both sides. Then just the tips, I'm going to twist like this. Then I'm going to fold this in half, tip to tip. And then cut it in half. Now I've got 2 equal wicks, nice and fluffy. Then I'm just going to come in through one side with this twisted bit of wick. Tease it out. Same again with this side. giving them a wee snip about 3mm away from the deck. Fluff them out, and then just tease them under. Brush them under the coil, and then brush them away from the coil. Under, and then away. The juice I'm going to use today is one of the Yorkshire Vapor's new lines, and it's called Snooker Loopy, which is a cereal vape, and this stuff's delicious. A couple of drops directly onto the coils, in and around, and then I'll do some underneath. Cap on and ready to go. My favourite mech mod to stick this on is my Simple mod. It's actually smaller than a 30mm unicorn bottle. Also looks really good on this Praxis. It also looks great on this Castigador. So as you can see on this Snowwolf, this thing just looks perfect. It's not too big, it doesn't make it look chunky, and it's like I can fit the Snowwolf and that atty in the palm of my hand. So that build that I've just put in there has came up to 0.36. This Snubnose RDA gives off such a satisfying vape. See, because of the amount of airflow that you've got coming in directly onto them coils, it is not the hottest vape, but it is so tasty. And as you can see, the cloud production is just absolutely spot on. This Snubnose RDA has knocked the Derringers off the table for me. I absolutely love it. Now, as happy as I was with the clone, I must say that I am a lot happier. So the price difference between the clone and the authentic is more than marginal. I picked up the clone for about $9 and I picked up the authentic for about $64. So that's about £5 and about £45. That is a big difference in how much money you're going to be spending if you're buying the clone or if you're buying the authentic. But what I will say is that I enjoyed the clone that much that I felt I had to review this atty, and I felt that I had to pay the price for the authentic. And I was happy to support the designers of this RDA, which is the Vapers. I will have links in the description to both the clone and the authentic. If you do a bit of shopping about, you might get the authentic a little bit cheaper. It does say on all the websites that I've had a look for the authentic on that there is limited stock of the Snubnose. I don't know exactly how many they've made, but I'm pretty sure they'll make more, and I'm pretty sure that they're going to make a version 2 because this thing is just absolutely phenomenal. Now, the authentic comes in brushed stainless steel, it comes in gunmetal grey, it comes in copper, and it comes in brass. This thing's got good flavour and it's got good cloud chucking ability, so for that it gets 2 thumbs up from me. As for pros and cons, they're the same as usual with any good RDA. It looks good, it's easy to work with, good flavour, good clouds. As for cons, and these will be subjective cons, if you're looking for a roasting hot vape, you're going to have to crank the wattage right up. Now, another good thing about this atty is that the O-rings on this are just right. You can control your airflow perfectly and it just pops in and pops out. You can hold it by the atty and it's not going to like drop off. The way that I drip onto this atty is I don't take the full top cap off, I just take the whiteboard drip tip off, drip in there, smash it back on. Now, this thing's perfect for single coil or dual coil. It is an absolutely outstanding atty. But unlike the Derringer, even though this is full metal, it's not a peak drip tip, etc. This thing doesn't get too hot, which means you can take a nice, long, satisfying vape off of this thing. So I've got an 80-20 juice in here and I'm kicking it at 80 watts on that 0.36. And it rips real good. I really do love this atty and there's not much more I can say about it. So what I am going to say is I do recommend you go out there and buy one, whether it be the authentic or whether it be the clone. So as always, in the description there'll be links to where you can buy the clone from, where you can buy the authentic from. There'll also be links in the description to my Instagram. There'll be a link in the description to my Facebook page. There'll be a link in the description to my Twitter page. and there'll also be a referral link to Samplebox where if you click that link and use the code that's in the description, you'll get 10% off your first sample box. So you've been watching Pixxie Puffs with your boy Pixxie. Now you see me, now you don't.